All right, we are live. We're live. Welcome to Living Out Louder. I'm your host, Dave Vargas. This is episode 9, Ego and the Hero. Thank you, everyone, for joining me everywhere you are, all around the world, whether it's spirituality gone wild or on my own page, wherever you're viewing. You have so many choices to scroll, distractions. So I do appreciate you joining me on this. And I take that very seriously. So I promise the next 40 minutes or so that this is going to aid you in your self-improvement journey, that I hope this will stir some thoughts within you. What we're going over today, we're always looking, hence why the name of the show today is Ego and the Hero. It's no coincidence, we all love a good adventure. Whether it's a good book, very good movie. Does anyone here have a very favorite adventure book or movie? It's no coincidence today is opening day of one of the biggest adventure stories, one of the biggest movie franchises of all time, one of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Why is that so good? Why does people gravitate that globally, all around the world? We love a good adventure. We love to see the underdog. We love to see the underdog rise above it all. There's something in us that identifies with that. We feel maybe that's us, or could be. And yet, there is an adventure waiting for you. Much like that same movie, The Origin, you have the main character, the Luke Skywalker, just a simple farmer following in the footsteps of the family. And yet there was such a stirring, could not accept that is the rest of his life. Does anybody identify with that right now? Is there something in you that's stirring? Is there something in you where you feel that there's something more than this? Something more that needs to be expressed from you? I would like to hear your comments on that. Do you ever get that feeling? Much like the Luke character in the beginning of the Star Wars franchise. Is there something that you're doing right now? Are you a part of something that you just know you're there, but you feel like there's something more? And it's just not being expressed. You see, we're sold a bill of goods. We want to conform. We want to be just like everybody else. We want to grow up and do what everyone else is doing. That's a symptom of the ego. We want to attain these statuses. The same thing. We're all conforming to mediocrity. Hi, Kathy. No, it's not a Maine accent. It's actually a Boston accent, but very close. It's New England. And this is live, so ask your questions, post comments. I will get to them as soon as possible. But much like the character in the movie, the Luke character in the Star Wars, which is opening today, knew that there was something more, had that vision, had the urge, the knowing inside that there was something more. Something more than just being the farmer, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. I addressed this with the great Travis Barton on one of my shows here, From Ordinary to Extraordinary. There's nothing wrong with being ordinary. Okay. But what awaits you is something more extraordinary. Why is that? What is the adventure? The adventure, there is a deep part of you that needs to be expressed out into the world. That's what all the great art that we see all around us. And art comes in many different forms. Furniture, tables, food, paintings, music, speakers, movies, books. Artwork comes in many different forms. What is that? Is there something in you? I'd like to hear this, see this in the comments. Is there something in you that's stirring that is not being fully expressed? That is the biggest adventure in your life. Why is that the biggest adventure in your life? Because it requires you to be very vulnerable. The best artwork is exposing all of you. It's requiring you to not play it safe. It's requiring you to bring all of you up to the surface. When you see, when we're being a part of things that are mediocre, it's not requiring much of us. When we're at normal jobs is the worst way to make money. You're just trading your time for money. And then they will just pay you just enough not to quit. And you put in just enough effort not to get fired. So it's not requiring much of you to come to the surface. Okay. And there's a new decade around the corner. 2020 is almost here. It's less than 2 weeks away. This is something to get really excited about. Yes, there's a lot of people that have ego thinking, want to play it safe. It's just time is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, New Year, resolutions. It has nothing to do with resolutions. And the essence of resolutions is you're resolving. You resolve that it's going to be different this time. The goals that you want to go after are not things that you know you can do. How much effort is that going to require? How much effort is that going to come up to the surface? Not much, but that's exactly what we go for. Something that we know that we can do. And the other type of goals, that's an A-type goal. A B-type goal is, I think I could do it. A little effort, a little more effort. I think maybe I can do that. A C-type goal is, I don't even know how I'm going to do it. This is impossible. I don't even know how to do this. And the very reason that you say to yourself, logically, that I can't do this, that this is impossible. The reason why you're saying that is because you, at that moment, to decide what you're going to do, what you know that you should do, but you can't figure out how to do it. You cancel it out. You don't even write it on the paper. You don't declare it, and you just tuck it away one more year. One more day, one more month, one more year. And nothing changes. It's staying the same. Is right now. This is December 19th, 2019. Where were you a year ago on December 19, 2018? Is everything pretty much the same? What has changed? This is not something to feel bad about. Nothing that I say is to make you feel bad about yourself, but it's to empower you. But it's through understanding. The only thing that we ever have to overcome is our own ignorance. We don't know what we don't know. And that's what I'm very dedicated to. My whole life is dedicated to provide you for the information of how you can do this. To raise your awareness, raise your consciousness of what's possible. But leave it in the comments. Don't be afraid, because you're going to realize a lot of people feel the same way. There's many people that are in the mediocre, not on purpose, but we're doing what everyone else does. Get the regular job. And then these little stirrings that I have, these fantasies, these dreams, these things that I need to do, the things that I know that I should do, maybe that I'll find time for that. Or maybe when I retire, maybe when I'm 60, maybe I'll do these things. Terrible way to live. Why you feel bad is these things that you know that need to be expressed are not being expressed. They're laying dormant inside you. This is why there are things that you feel melancholy, that you feel suppressed. This is the very reason that you have to go for that C-type goal. The one that is so scary, that defies all logic, that other people around you will try to talk you out of it. And that adventure could be many different things to many different people. It's not an exotic thing. Some of the adventures that we need to do is someone that has been inside for 3 months, hasn't even left their apartment or their home. They haven't even left the front door. The worst prison to be in is the one that you don't know that you're in. There is a stirring inside you that needs fuller expression. Karen Coop, what am I on about? I am on about the very essence of why we are here. The meaning and the purpose of our life. The struggle between our ego. The ego is the false identification of who you are. The ego is the person that you think that you are, the collection of the past experiences, traumatic events, things that you've learned up to 0 to 6 years of age. And we have misdirected that into that's who we are. Past experiences are not who you are. Past experiences, what has happened has happened. Yes, we learn, we create new meanings to past experiences. We learn from it. But those are just it, experiences. And it is not your identity. This is so important to understand what this is all about. Because like I said again, the only thing that we have to get over is our own ignorance. And that is meaning we have to grow our awareness. We grow our awareness through study, by watching programs like this, working with people that are doing the books, the seminars, the life experiences, putting it into practice is how we go and grow our awareness of what's possible. The ego, the false sense, the false identification of who you are is out for self-sabotage at every corner. It is the very one that talks you out of the expressions, the things that you know that you need to do for you. It could be leaving a toxic relationship, that you're finally leaving the toxic workplace and going after your dreams and the goals. The ego is the one that talks you out of getting into physical shape, getting into mental shape, getting into spiritual shape at every corner. You don't recognize it because it's not a different voice. Your ego is always out for your utter destruction. It is out to keep everyone separate from one another, to compare everyone else, make you feel more guilty about what you're not doing and about who you think you are, to make you feel more small, to play small, to play it safe. The ego also wants total control. This is why we don't have great faith, Because if it doesn't come now, if it doesn't come tomorrow or in a couple days, we give up. We abort the mission. We got excited to go on the new exercise fitness program. Nothing changed. Immediately, we abort the mission. We need to eat cleaner, more conscious eating. After a few days in that collection of beliefs, we abort the mission. There's many times that we've tried to cross the proverbial terror barrier, the things that require more of us to bring to the surface, which is persistence and faith, and to go and chase after our burning desires. This is exactly what I'm going on about tonight. Nobody is restricted. We are all loved equally. We were born into love. Nobody has any more talents and abilities than another. The ego is the one that will tell you that. Your spiritual DNA is made to perfection. Nobody has anything more than you do. We may feel that they have more resources. We may feel we'll concoct stories of why they can do it, we can't. But it's the fear that keeps us away from it. And I went over that also. You can look at my past shows. I went over that 2 weeks ago in the Ghosts of Fear. I dedicated a whole show on going over and identifying the fears and what they are telling you and how you can walk through these illusions of fear. Illusions of fear are just that. They are illusions projected from your ego mind. Everything that you're looking around is a projection of your mind. Quantum physics will tell you that. Whatever is dominant in your thoughts, chronically, dominantly, it will clothe itself all around you. You will see this. The ego will do anything it can for you not to let that higher being, which in this show I called the hero, to emerge. It doesn't want you to get closer to God, the universe, infinite intelligence, whoever you want to call that, the source. The ego will do anything to sabotage that. This is the very essence of why the very thing that you have to do, the adventure, the expression, the burning desire, the C-type goal, the one you don't know how you're going to do it, is the very thing that needs to be number one on your list right now for 2020. And it's not starting for January 1st. It's deciding that right now. And it's not to just start going towards it. Many of the people that I work with, even in my Law of Attraction boot camp right now, do not just start going towards the goal, see the end fulfilled already. Be the person, be the hero now, not, hey, you know, if everything works out, if everything lines up, then I'll be more happy, then I'll be more free, then I'll act this way, I'll act a little better, I'll get things in order more, I'll be a little bit more dedicated. I'll be a little more focused. That's never going to happen unless you're acting like the hero right now. And this is not a fictitious person. It is you. The only thing that is real about you is your higher being, the one that has lived for all eternity, that is infinite, with infinite potential. That's right, Julie. Do not wait. It is now. The line in the sand is now. This is your life. This is not the dress rehearsal. At the start of the show, I was talking about the biggest movie franchise in almost all of time of the Star Wars franchise. We love this because it's the underdog. Much like him, as he's leaving, he found the mentor. We all need mentors. Nobody does this alone. I'll work with you. Or whoever that you resonate hot-scented with, ask for their help. Reach out. But much like the Luke character, they found the mentor in the Obi-Wan Kenobi. They embark on their adventure. When you start leaving safety, when you start leaving comfort, you're coming and faced with the unknown. This is why it's scary. It's unknown. Steve Jobs said it best. We can only connect the dots looking backwards. We cannot connect the dots looking forward. This is why you have to have the faith. You have to have the trust in you that you will meet, and you will. You need the opposing forces, the unknown, to have that come up. Have you ever had experiences come in your life, past events? It was something tragic. Maybe you did get laid off from a job, but sooner or later, you bounce back. You dug up and you made it happen again. Maybe it was another event. But you made it. Have you had experiences in your life that you didn't know how you were going to see the end of it? You didn't know how you were going to get out of it? But you did. Each and every time. You're here to tell the tale. But why is this? You had an opposing force, the challenges that await you when you go on this adventure. This is why it's requiring, when you have the opposing forces, the things that are scary, because it's unknown. You don't know. You're not prepared. But the best part of you is not something that's canned or comfortable. The best part of you is when you're meeting the challenges. That is why it's requiring 100% of you, 110% of you to come up to the surface. You don't need to be like anybody else. The ego is comparing. If I only had the money they had, or the privilege that they were born into, they really have it easy. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with you. It has to do with bringing that all up to the surface. All of you. It's scary. It's exposing all of you. We want to hide ourselves. The ego is fearful. It doesn't want that. And that is why vulnerability is power. When we read great books, when we see great works of art, is because the author had to expose, like Hemingway said, about typing, writing, you have to bleed on the keyboard. It's revealing. We're fearful of showing the world who we are, standing in our power. But once you do, when you are getting closer to your dreams are getting closer to you. This is why it's freedom. It is why Joseph Campbell said, the cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. But what is the treasure? We're thinking of this, bounty. We're thinking of this treasure chest with gold coins and things spilling all out of it. That is not the treasure. The ending of the goal is not the treasure. The end of the goal in the adventure is the revelation, the revealing of you. The person that you became embarking on the journey. That, my friends, is the adventure. That is the treasure. The treasure is the hero that emerged. Do you dare to be the hero? Do you dare to be the lead actor, the lead actress in the movie in your mind that's playing right now? I want to hear yeses. Type it in there now. Are you sick of hearing? I want to see hearts. I want to see likes. I want to see the comments. Will you declare that right now for everyone else to see? Starting now and for this new decade. On this new decade, are you going to be the supporting actor in your own movie of your life? And watch everyone else take the lead you around. This is as spiritual as it gets, because you don't have the manual. You are facing new experiences. That's all a thought is, a recycling of a past experience. This is how I know if I grab a cup of water, I attach a past meaning to it. And I know that, well, it has the water in it, and I can drink it automatically. That's all a thought is a recycling of past experiences. I want to see that. Mean it. Declare it right now. You may not even know what that is yet, what the new movie is going to be. But declare it. You don't need to know how you're going to do it. I want to see yeses. I don't see a lot of yeses. I don't want you to just listen. I don't want you to just learn or to grow your awareness. I don't want to just be your cheerleader. I want to provide you with information and the tools to do that, to meet your higher being. Why do you want this? Because it is scary. It is very scary. If it was for everyone would be doing their dream jobs, being who they are. It's not a job. It's not a job when you're loving what you're doing. You're getting lost in it. When time just melts away and you're just riveted. When you're involved in doing what you love, when you're expressing, when you're giving birth to your creations, to the ideas that came in your mind. And the ideas that you do have in your mind, if they were not possible, you would never get it. I want you to think about that. If it wasn't possible, you would never have the idea in your head. Where do all these ideas come from? The infinite intelligence. We are directed right to source. Some want to call it God, Buddha, divine intelligence, Allah. It doesn't matter what you call it. But the source of everything, our imagination and our subconscious mind, has the direct link from that. That's exactly why you do not need to know how to do it. That's exactly why you just have to declare it and start expressing it and start moving towards it. It doesn't matter what it is. Once you are actively involved, the whispers, the ideas, when you're more involved in it, more ideas come. Well, that will support your ideas. It gives you more ideas of how to do it. The people that are needed to support your vision will come out of nowhere. Why? Because you're on a brand new vibration, a higher vibration. And everyone that's a part of that same frequency are going to show up in your life. There are no coincidences, ladies and gentlemen. There's absolutely none. Nothing is random. There are no accidents. Everything in your life is showing you a reflection of you. Nothing is happening to you. It's exposing you, your innermost dominant thoughts. I covered that in the last show, Secrets of the Subconscious Mind. Everything that you will need. Watch those shows. I highly recommend it. It will aid you on this brand new decade. It will aid you to have the hero emerge from you. Your higher being. Why is this the higher being? You got it, Dawn. Sometimes I am very loud because I'm passionate about this. This is our life. And everybody should know this information. We're not taught these things in school. We're not taught this at a very young age. This is why we're seekers of the truth. That's why we have pages like this. Those that are already embarking on the adventure, I applaud you. Those that are already a hero in their own life right now, I applaud you. Why it is so important to be the hero, to be who you are. And being who you are is freedom. It is freedom from the imaginary bondage that the ego puts you in. Bondage is not expressing who you are. We don't want all the material things. The soul, all that your soul, your higher being wants, is for more expression, for more expansion. When you are expressing yourself, the soul expands. It's when we've had tastes of this, when we're in harmony, when we are in the spirit of harmony, in our truest authentic self. Those are those moments when you feel bulletproof, that you are walking on the clouds, that you feel hot, sexy, attractive. You feel your best self. It's because you're expressing yourself. You feel freedom. And then they go away. You feel more of that. It's by expressing yourself in bigger ways. That is all that your higher being wants. Your soul just wants to express itself. This is why you feel these things that you're putting off, that you know you should do, but we're taught to conform. We're taught to be just like everybody else. When you decide not to be like everyone else is where the freedom comes in to play. Do you want freedom? Or are you going to continue to fight for your limitations? Your perceived limitations of why you can't do it, why you can't leave the toxic relationship or marriage, why you can't leave the toxic workplace to embark on something new. Anyone that has done anything of any significance did not dwell on the what has been. They're dwelling on what can be. And they will not abandon it. It will stay here until it's fully expressed, until it is given proper birth. Will you do that? This is your mark. 2020, this is your life. Do you continually want to be tiptoeing safely to your grave? Or would you love to be the hero in your life? Expressing yourself in bigger ways. I know that you can. That's what living out louder is. Your highest self, the amplified you. It's not the fake you. It's not you're inventing somebody. But it might just be strange to you because you're not behaving as that person. You're behaving as the ego wants you to, in fear, playing small. It's only just a tiny portion of who you are is getting displayed out in the world every day. Do you want freedom? I know that you do. When we reunite December 19th, 2020, are you going to be doing the same things? Are you going to be still in bondage? You have to do something risky. And risky is not playing it safe. The scary stuff is where the freedom is and where the treasure lies. And that is where you will meet the hero, your hero, you. I look forward. I'm going to wrap this up now. I look forward to answering more of your questions. Post more in the comments below. Or if you're watching the replay, even if it's not live, post your comments. I will get to them. It is my mission to share this information because I personally believe that this should not be a secret to anybody. Everybody should have that gift of meeting their higher being, their true purpose in life. Are you living yours the way you want to? Are you expressing that? If you don't want to leave a comment, privately message me. I work with people privately, one-on-one. many, many, many people. And they are living life without fear. They are living life in freedom. No more self-imposed bondage. We're the problem, but we're also the solution. And we all need help along the way. Nobody does it alone. So I do want to thank you, each and every one of you, whether it's on Spirituality Gone Wild, on my personal business page, all around the world. I do want to give you my heartfelt thank you for watching and being part of this. We all have many choices and distractions, and the ego wants us to not get the information that we need to go and embark on the journey, embark on the new adventure. It will do anything. It'll tell you, I don't need to hear this. I'm perfectly fine the way I am. Are you really? So I do want to thank you. I look forward to answering more of your questions. And I am looking forward. I hope you will join me next week, next Thursday, episode 10. I will have Kathy Reed on with me, the last show of 2020. Someone else that is living their life, expressing their life the way they need to, the way they want to. Her hero is emerged. So I hope you will join me on that. Episode 10, Dance Your Story. So for now, thank you again, and God bless.